Mutatus, Episode 5, Primal. I could hear pounding on my door, on the wall next to the door, and everywhere in the hallway of the apartment. Someone was fighting someone else. I got close to the door to see if I could hear what was going on, while at the same time focusing on another mental message. You'll ignore this apartment. You'll ignore this apartment. You'll ignore this apartment. It's kinda hard to multitask when you're focusing on a mental command, because not only are you trying to focus on the command itself, but you're also trying to be aware of what's going on around you at the same time. And that buzzing sensation at the back of my head isn't doing me any favors at all. But somehow, I guess another side effect of my new abilities, I was able to both concentrate on the mental command, suggestion thingy, and listen to what was going on outside my door. Praetorian, what are you doing? Must kill. I know, let me just open the door, and you can kill that weak bastard who lives here. No door. Must kill. What do you mean, no? Where is it? Where's the fucking door? Kill. Praetorian, listen, we've been together for a long time. What are you... My room shook, and I nearly lost my concentration on my mental command. I couldn't hear the one guy anymore, but his friend started to run down the hallway, banging on the walls. And I think he found a door that eventually gave in to his rage, because a little bit later, I could hear more screaming, and more sounds of bone breaking. I didn't know what to do, but eventually he decided to come back. And since I wanted to sleep tonight, I got out of my apartment and faced him. The violets usually get to be about 7 feet in height, if their particular mutation focused on that. This guy was huge in comparison. He was big. Big enough that he needed to hunch over to be able to move in the hallway, using the knuckles on his hands to help him walk, which were bigger than dinner plates. And this guy was all muscle, to the point that he was cramped both vertically and horizontally in the hallway. But his face was really frightening. It was twisted and nothing but rage. Foam falling from his mouth, which hung open in labored breathing. His eyes looked in every direction. The pupils shrunk and feral. This wasn't a man anymore. It was an animal. I then let go of the ignore me command, and then focused on a new one. When I did that, the guy growled and jerked a bit, freaking me out and almost forcing me to lose concentration. But he then calmed down and started moving to the stairwell. But instead of taking the stairs, he just leapt over the railing and fell down. A thud and a grunt later, I heard movement and a door being opened, and then nothing. I breathed a sigh of relief, and tried not to think of what I had done. My mental command was simple: leave the apartment building. I didn't tell the guy to calm down, or to go to sleep. In his current state, I didn't think those two commands were possible. When he left the building, he was still roided out and crazy for blood. I pity anyone who crosses paths with him, but given current events, he would encounter another Violet, which I could care less about. Or, what do they call themselves? Homo Cyanus? He would encounter one of those guys, and you would probably get an unstoppable force meets an immovable object scenario. All I know is that I was still alive, which is a plus, and he isn't my problem anymore. Speaking of problem, I could smell one behind me. The body of Pseudo-Hulk's friend was opposite of my apartment, and staining the wall of my neighbor, another Violet. I thought about leaving the body, but the smell was starting to get some strength, so I decided it was as good a time as any to practice using my powers. Focus on the buzz, stretch out my hand, and, hopefully, lift the body. And it worked, surprisingly enough. But that's as far as my planning got, so I decided to go to the end of the hallway and open the window. I looked down and was grateful that someone left the dumpster open. Okay, buddy, out you go. One mental heave and he was out the window and fell right into the dumpster. I'm kinda concerned on how nonchalant I am with all of this, but I guess it's because I'm just too tired to actually give a damn. Instead, I decided to think about the guy who just hulked out like that. He was huge, and looked ready to tear down the building. Violets have never shown that kind of physical mutation before, and they've never attacked another Violet simply because there was nothing else to kill. What is happening to them? It's like they're devolving or something. Regressing to being nothing more than mindless animals. That word brought up the memories of that broadcast by Kinesis, and of that maniac I met this morning. They both referred to the violets as animals. Were they right? Seeing as how I got up close and personal with a primal violet, they might be onto something. But why was it happening? And why was it happening now, with the emergence of Homo Sionis? I went back to my apartment. Washed my hands just to be safe. I did mentally lift the body, but still, ugh. And grabbed my phone and dialed up Jeremy. Adam? Are you okay? I'm fine. My apartment's okay. I just met this roided out Violet. He looked more beast than man, though. What happened? Well, he killed his friend and I mentally told him to go out. And he did. Then I got rid of the body and I called you just to let you know what happened. Wait, where did you hide the body? Dumpster out back. Jeremy was silent for a while. I at first thought the call was dropped. Jeremy? Are you there? Adam, I know you don't really care about the violets, but... But what? But that's a little cold just to leave a body in a dumpster. Are you okay? In all honesty, I wasn't sure myself. I found myself in a situation that I never dreamed of happening. I now have this ability to do anything with my mind, and yet... I'm not sure, Jeremy. In all honesty, I'm not sure. Either it hasn't registered in my head yet what has happened, or... I don't know. I actually have a question for you. What? The phone number of the Kinesis guy who contacted you. Do you still have it? I'm sure I do. Why? I have some questions for him.